I lost my mother when I was young, but I wasn't that young to not remember her and old enough to know that I will always miss her, love her, and actively seek her. She was caring, beautiful, and resilient. She said to me, Franklin, whenever you meet someone and you feel their spirit and it gives you a nice feeling, those are the people that God sent you. Pay real attention to someone's aura. They'll tell you everything you need to know. Those were her last words in her letter. I grew up with my grandmother, my mother's mom. I love her dearly. She's still here with me, and in a way I like to think of her as my mother too. I call her Muma. Muma, I met someone special recently through this program. My grandma didn't know my mother gave birth to a baby girl 15 years after me. My mom, for some reason, told me to never tell her. But I did it anyway, eventually. My mother, Alma, was a traveler. She wanted to see the world and fall in love with every piece of it. And sometimes, love would find her. She met a man and told me she was pregnant and she knew it was a girl. My mother was 33 when I got a random phone call. Hello? Are you the son of Alma Cruz Ordine? I was 18. I know Alma Cruz. I guess she married this man. The news shattered me. She was gone. I'm going to miss our quarterly visits and monthly letters. Growing up with my mama was cool. She is the caring and the carefree grandma. She let me have friends over most days and sometimes a girl over during my teenage years. In middle school, she even signed me up for basketball. Although I wasn't very good, I appreciate her efforts to give me a regular life. Muma is not a fan of caged birds. Maybe that's why she let my mother be free. September 3rd, 25 years later.
Hey Frank, you think my friend Porty could stay in a den or we could share this room? I don't mind. I needed to get Porty off the streets for her own peace of mind and my own. I wholeheartedly appreciated what Frank did for me in August, and it was hard to sleep most nights knowing my girl was still out there. Something could happen to her. She could hold her own for sure, I seen it, but the feeling of uneasiness got harder to sustain day in and day out. Alex, look at our lives now. If you never met Frank, who knows what we would be? Here we are, two women in our early 20s staying with the man we've known for a month. Dangerous, huh? But with Frank, we were safe. I think he enjoyed our company a lot. He would go to work, and when he got home, we were already there. Alex and I would cook, sip a little wine sometimes. He would tell us how he helped build the shelter and many other buildings in the city. He called using his hands to build things as making art. So in his walks, he would visit his art, admiring in gratitude that he did something his mother would be proud of. Frank's mother seemed like a very nice woman, delicate even in his remembrance. It's amazing how much of her he retained. It's like she's still here, because even in her absence, he became what she wanted him to be. I remember a week before graduation, my foster mother said, "I hope you'll make something of yourself now that you're 18, Alex." A week later, my bags were on the front porch and the locks were changed. I was not welcome anymore. I didn't even try to go back, not once. I was a pretty normal kid given the circumstances of bouncing around from different homes, having frequent acquaintances with no guaranteed stability. I never got adopted. It wasn't in my cards. Did I have attitudes from time to time? Yes. Did I clean up my room if I had one? Yes. Some people only want you temporarily, and there's nothing we could do about that. I learned to not get close with anyone, and I know that will be an immeasurable burden for me to heal. Portia was the first person in my life that stayed. I've been here for a month. I decided to unpack my book bag and put my mother's photo on the dresser. I never unpacked my bag before. I'm not used to having a place I can keep coming back to and feel like I'm meant to be here. It was a beautiful day. I felt very grateful to wake up. I usually take a cab to work, but today I decided to walk. I wore my hair in a bun just so the sun could hit all angles. Frank was home and he sent me a text that said,
Alex, I think you're my sister. I'm sorry to have gone to your room, but something pulled me in there. Your door was half open, and in that moment I felt compelled to keep walking closer to this photo you have of your mother, who is my mother too.
I paused, reading those words. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up with a strong feeling of emotion I had no control over. I burst into tears, shaking even, almost like a panic attack, as I was filled with joy that I actually have a family member. Those next moments turned quickly into grief. I never got to meet her, but because of Frank, I could feel what she was like. I wish I could have met my mother, but parts of me feel like I had met her love through her son, my older brother. Definitely not going to work now. so I decided to sit on this bench and call Portia.